Hey, welcome to Hungry He's channel, and I am Shelly Eats Steak. Today I came up with a recipe for Keto Chow donut holes. And I'm actually going to fill them and make these an actual deviled food donut holes. So join with me and let's see how we get it done. So what you're going to need for this simple recipe is some Keto Chow. I'm doing chocolate, 4 eggs, and we're actually going to just use the whites. So 4 egg whites, some vanilla, a little bit of baking powder, and some pork rinds, some pork panko, if you will. So you want it nice in a kind of a fine consistency. So see how that's not exactly like a paste, but it's very fine. So we're going to try 3 ways of making these little donut holes. We're going to do the traditional grease fry using coconut oil. And then we're going to try baking. And lastly, the air fryer. We're going to see which way is the best way to make the best Keto Chow donut hole. So let's get started. Hey, so we're going to get started by doing 4 eggs, just the whites, and whipping them until soft peaks. So here I go. Which one won the battle? This one won. So, just getting only the whites in there. Because if you end up getting any of the yellow, it's going to be very difficult to get the peaks. Then save the yolk, of course, for another recipe. And then on to battle 2. Here's our champion. Here's our contestant. Let's see who's going to win. Oh, the champion won again. Alright. Probably hit that one a little too hard. You gotta have fun when you're baking in the kitchen, right? Final competition here. Which one? Our reigning champ or our new challenger? Thank you. Oh, it looks like the challenger got a hit. The champion wins. And what does he win? He has to go last into the pot. Oh, there's Coco. She's hungry again. It's been 20 minutes. Alright. Our egg yolks. And then the last one. Oh, tough egg to crack there.
That's why he's the champion.
Right. Alright. And then we'll get the whisk attachment on. And get this going. Oh, that looks good. Let's see. Oh, yeah, perfect. Look, nice little peaks there. That's awesome. Okay, and I forgot to mention earlier, guys, I'm sorry. You do need 2 tablespoons of cold butter into little pieces. So let me show you what I mean. Here's my butter. I measured where 2 tablespoons is. Of course, you can always weigh it out. That would be 28 grams. Move that to the side. You know, I don't like doing a lot of dishes, so that's my little country way of cutting up butter. So I'm going to put this into 3 here. And then I'm going to do each one into 2/3 as well. They don't have to be precise. There. So like 6 little cubes per pat there. So let's do it again.
And why are you doing it?
So that's a good question, Heath, and I'm glad you asked me that. What I'm thinking it's going to do is with the cold butter, because you want to keep it really cold, when I mix it in with our base mixture and combine it together, the cold butter, as it melts, should then create little air pockets, which should give that nice kind of light feeling that donuts usually have. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so...
Bill Nye type stuff.
Right? Or Alton Brown, too.
Well, yeah,
right?
that makes more sense, doesn't it?
So, I've got all these little cubes, but since I've been handling it, and it's set out for a few minutes, while I'm preparing everything else, I'm going to put this in the freezer while we finish the rest.
They're playing your song.
Okay, so now on to our base. So we need Keto Chow, 1 scoop, and we got the wonderful chocolate flavor in the Chow Club. So if you haven't signed up for that, definitely do it. It's a great deal, and you really get to try different things, and there's a surprise every month. So we're going to do 1 scoop, or if you have the sample, 1 sample packet. And then we'll also do some baking powder, just a 1/2 teaspoon. And then, because we don't do almond flour, we're going to do a 1/2 cup of our pork panko. So, put the pork panko in. Now, I use pork panko in response to almond flour like a 1-to-1 ratio. So, if the recipe calls for 1/2 cup of almond flour, I do a 1/2 cup of the pork panko. So I'll put that down first. I already measured my baking powder. And then my scoop of the chocolate Keto Chow.
Chocolate.
Right? I love the chocolate to do a hot chocolate. That's my favorite. Until I try these donuts, then that'll probably be my favorite. Okay, and again, because, you know, I hate doing dishes, I'm just going to use my measuring spoon and mix this all together. You see there's little clumps. Now, if Wesley was watching this, he would say, girl, you need to sift that. So, you can use a sifter. So, we're just getting that well combined. And then, what I'm going to do is add in that really cold butter. Okay, that all looks well combined. Let me get those little big chunks broken down. Good. Alright, and now I'm going to get the cold butter. So, remember my butter? I put it in the freezer, so now it's really chilled. So I'm just going to drop these little tiny cubes in here. And just start mixing those in. Do a few more. And then while I'm doing this, I went ahead and started preheating my oven for the baked portion to 350. And then I'm getting my coconut oil melting. So we could try that. Okay, and the last little bit. Okay, now here's the little dirty part. I'm just going to go in here and kind of fold it with my hand. Just rubbing, squeezing that butter a little bit into the dough. Okay. Alright, so it's nice and combined there. So to my egg whites, I'm going to add just a half a teaspoon of vanilla. Comes out. Alright, so I'm going to kind of drizzle that in. Then I'm going to lightly fold that into it. Oh, look at how nice and fluffy my egg whites are. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And then I'm going to start adding a little bit of this. And just slowly kind of fold it together. Add a little bit, fold a couple. Oops, sorry. Add a little more, fold it. Probably do this, what is that, about 5 times? And about a 1/5 at a time. And you see the eggs whites are starting to get smaller, right? Because they're combining with this. But they're still keeping a lot of that form, which is going to help keep the lightness of this dough. Do the rest of that. Just do this till it's nice and combined. You don't want the Keto Chow base to be real dry and crumbly. You do want it combined with the eggs so everything has that moisture of the eggs. So in fact, my knife, do that. Sometimes the dry part will stick to your little spatula. Now I can see in there my little bits of butter. And then by the time you're done, you shouldn't really see any more of the white of the eggs. All of that should be combined. You just don't want to mix it real hard or you're going to get all of that light fluffiness of the egg whites if you mix too hard. So that's why you're really wanting to fold this in slowly, combining it, because we're trying to really maintain that to keep that lightness. Okay, so I think that's looks well combined there. I see the little bits of butter shining through. So then we're going to go on to our next step. Okay, so we're going to start forming our balls. And to get started, if you have a melon scooper or melon baller, that would work perfect. I don't. So I just use 2 teaspoons. And what I do is just kind of roll it between the teaspoons until it forms a nice little ball. And I think this mixture is going to make between 12 and 16. So I'm going to try to, since we're doing it 3 ways, try to get it evenly done between all 3 ways so that we can really test and see. There's 2 balls. And I'm just going to keep making our little donut balls until we have all of them made. And then we'll get to cooking. All right, Rachel, I got 16 balls here. So I made 16 donut balls. So I'm going to do 5 in the air fryer. And I did all these. I know they're not exactly perfect because I don't have a melon baller. But I just used the spoons. That's the old way of doing it. So let's do 5 That's 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to put it in this one in the air fryer. I'm going to do 400 for 5 minutes and see how that goes. Okay, now I'm going to do 5 in the oil. Let's see how hot this oil is.
Oh, I like that sound.
Yeah.
Time to make the donuts.
All right, let's just see. This is our first trial. It might just, I don't know. Let's see. It looks like it might be melting. This might not work very well.
Well,
Let's flip it. Sorry. Heath reminded me we have a spider. So I just started like kind of rolling this around, and so that might work. Let's do another one. See what I did here. Well, here's our next ball. I'm just going to set it there.
smells good.
And you see how it starts to bubble up around. Can you zoom in, babe?
Yeah, I'll go a little more. How's that?
Yeah. So it starts, as soon as I see it like really bubbling around the edge there, then I just slowly roll it. I'm going to roll this one over here. I'm just going to keep rolling them because I don't want it to burn on any one side. Let's just keep this going. And we're going to do 5 of them this way and see which comes out best. I've been rolling these around in the air fryer in that coconut.
She's rolling her balls.
Yes, rolling my balls. So I'm going to do a little toothpick test. Let's see.
They look like chocolate hush puppies. This is great.
They came out clean. So, let's do it. Ooh, I don't want to lose my ball. I've been keeping track of each one as I roll them around.
Yeah, the spider's a little too big for this pot. It's about the same size. We need a smaller one for this. There we go.
Turn that off. And let me double check these.
It's real good, Heath. Just lean over the hot stove. It feels real good on your tummy.
Okay, there's that.
Wow.
Okay, these have been in the air fryer about 8 minutes. I checked them halfway. That looks good.
Wow.
So they did kind of blossom a little bit in there, which is cool. And I'm doing these each on separate plates so we know who is who. All right, and then next we'll be checking on the oven, but that's going to take a little bit longer. Okay, so now I'm going to make my filling, which is what makes this a devil's food donut hole. So it's just heavy whipping cream, my favorite brand. And let's see, this is 16 ounces, probably do about a third of this. Let's see how that looks. Now usually there's a little cream on top. So you gotta push through that. Trying to get that. There we go. That's about a third. So we're just going to turn this on high speed. Takes about 4 or 5 minutes for it to whip up. Okay, let's check on these in the oven. I did flip them halfway. But this is what I didn't like about the oven so far. We haven't given our final opinion, but they kind of got flattened out. They didn't turn into roly-poly balls.
Yeah, who wants a flat ball?
Right, nobody wants flat balls. Look at that. But anyways, they look done. So let's get them in their bowl and let's get started. Alright, We're going to take one of the baked ones and cut it open, and let's see what it looks like.
Ooh, I like that crunch.
Got a crunch on the outside, and it does feel soft. Ooh, can you zoom in on that?
I am. That's awesome.
So it's got a nice, crunchy exterior.
I like the way it's like
soft.
fleshy when you're pushing on it.
Yeah, it is. Look at that, soft on the inside. You want to try a bite?
Yeah, I say cut that other one in half. Half the half.
Oh, I thought this was your bite size. It's a Heath size bite.
Yeah, but I'm trying to watch my figure.
Oh, whatever. Okay, then try me. I'll try it first then. You got me? Okay. You do taste the little bit of the chocolate Keto Chow. It is crunchy on the outside, and then the inside does have that doughy consistency. Now, it's not real sweet. The only sweetness I used was the Keto Chow. So if you like it really sweet, you can either dust these. I think would be good dusted with like a powdered swerve. Or you could add a little sweetener. But this is good. It's not savory, but it's not like knock you down sweet. But I do really like the texture of it. It is more of a light cakey type of donut. So it's not going to be an airy donut, but it's not the real dense one. You want to try it now, Heath?
Sure.
All right, Heath.
But show them that again, how nice it is on the inside of it. I'm really impressed with how these turned out. This is going to be so good. It really does taste like a regular donut hole. I like this. And the chocolate's there, but it's like you said, it's not overpowering. But it's just perfect. I can't wait until we start filling these, or make a little dip for them. I think it'll be good too. This is going to be amazing. Good job, baby. Good job.
So we're going to try filling these to make them a devil's food. So I got my heavy cream that I've whipped up, and I got it in a little pastry bag with the little end to shoot it up with. So let's see how this goes.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
Let's try a few more.
I'm sorry, I thought you were setting it on the cutting board. That's fine.
Well, I was trying to keep them separated so we could see whose is whose. Right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So let's keep filling these, and then we'll be back in a few minutes. So I've got them all filled. We have our baked, air fry, and coconut fried traditional. So we're going to sample each one and then see what we think is the best.
Throw them balls in your mouth.
I will. Well, we'll do it together.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to do a side-by-side test. Taste test.
Left to right?
Yeah.
So these are the oven baked.
Yeah. Oven baked and filled. Let's see. Ready?
Yeah. Dink. Oh my goodness. That is really good. Nice little crunch to it. Nice little sweetness from the stuffing. You're going to have to keep making these every day. Good job. Good job. I'm going to buy some milk.
I know, right? I would say it is just a tad dry. A little dry on that one. All right, ready for The air fryer?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I won't take such a big bite. Ready? Here, let's switch. That one's tiny.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Mmm. Mm-hmm.
Mmm.
That's a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more moist, more flavorful.
Yeah, it's not as dry as the baked.
Yeah, the oven really dries it out.
Yeah, inside it's a lot creamier, I guess is the word. It's still spongy inside, but it's not where it's gonna like dry your mouth where you have to have milk.
Mm.
Yeah, that's good. Having some Ultima.
I mixed the
Watermelon.
watermelon and the lemonade flavor.
Oh, lemonade, that's right.
It's really good together.
This one I'm really excited about. It was the traditional coconut. Because I was really concerned at first how they were going to turn out. I thought they were melting. Let's see. Ready? Ding.
Mmm.
Mmm.
That might be the best one. We have to do that from now on. I like that better than the air fryer. It's like a more traditional donut type feel.
If you could see how squishy it is.
Yeah.
So having that butter in there, as it melted, it really left nice little air gaps, which has made it a little lighter, like you would think of a dough type item. And yeah, this does have more moisture. I think because also, like the total time to fry it up was maybe 5 minutes. I just kept rolling it. As soon as I saw it kind of turn, it went from like a chocolate to a tan. As soon as I saw that, I started rolling it. And then I just kept rolling them in circles all the way around and then pulled them out. So let's see. Yeah. Tear's nice.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, the outside isn't as crusty as the baked one or the air fried one. It's kind of like the outside. I mean, it still has a little, stiffness to it, but it's not like hard, like not like a French bread where it's real hard outside.
Yeah.
But it's more of the texture that you can like tear that up.
Yeah.
So, 1, 2, 3. Which is your favorite?
3.
Yeah, 3.
That's what I was telling you. Next time we go to Costco, we gotta get another jar of the
Coconut oil.
coconut oil so we can do these again.
But I agree with Heath.
Of course. Of course.
20 years, but it is good with the filling. And all I did was just whip up some heavy cream, put it in there. You can add a little sweetener if you want to. But I think it would also be good to either do the powdered swerve over these, or even if you wanted to be real bougie, melt some chocolate and just drizzle the chocolate over. I mean, there's so many things you could do with these.
Well, that's what I was telling her. We ought to fill them with like jelly or jam or something like that. I think that'd be good. Or I was thinking it'd be nice if they were smaller, like bite size. But I don't know if they would hold up to being stuffed in. You might have to actually just crush them to get the stab inside of there.
Right.
They're good, and I would make them again. This is awesome.
Yeah, that's really nice, quick and easy, and it made 16, so that's easy to split. This makes a nice, meal, dessert, snacks that you can add, and so many possibilities with these. It's really good, and I feel like if you're keto, especially around with the holidays, or people at work who are always having donuts and stuff, you can bring this in and there's your donut for the day.
Yeah. That would work real good.
Yeah, and you could glaze them. I mean, there's different things you could do depending on how sweet you want them. But I think they're really good just like this. All right. Well, I hope that you really like this recipe and that you're going to try it too. So, if you will, do us a favor and subscribe,
share,
like, and comment.
Yeah.
And then let us know if you decide to try this recipe and what did you think of it? How did you do yours? What flavors did you use? Because there's endless possibilities with Keto Chow.
Yeah.
So give us some tips on what you did and if you like this recipe. And I hope you enjoy. Have a great day.
So, this is what the textures look like. This was the baked, and you can tell when I'm squeezing it, it's a little more dense and a little more like crusty or rock hard compared to the other ones. Still tasty though. And then this one, the second one here, is the air fryer. And see how it's a little more spongy? And it gives more like when I push on it. And it's a little more airy feeling. Again, it was really tasty. And then, of course, my favorite was the third one. This is the one that was fried in the coconut oil. And it really is spongy compared to the other two. And a lot more airy, too. If I can flip it over for you. And it tears apart easier, too. It's more like an actual donut texture. I was really impressed with how all three of them turned out, but the third one is my favorite.